You guys see the Brian Johnson Easter egg? Knives Out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking dope, right?
Yeah, it was cool.
What do you think of it, Gavin?
I thought it was just a DVD cover.
Yeah, but
I'll explain it to the peeps. So Ryan
Spoilers
Johnson, who looks
for
like Andy
Knives Out.
Jameson,
Yeah, if you've not seen it, every episode. If you've
released
not
the-
seen Knives Out, spoilers.
he released the Blu-ray for Knives Out, for which it came in a sheath, a polythene wallet, a scabbard.
So a
if you
reminder
will.
to all the single people out there and people engaging in sexual activity to always come in a sheath.
Yes.
And always wear your polythene wallets.
Always wear your polythene wallet.
So there was an outer shell. Gary, explain.
Thanks. On the back of the plastic bit wrapped the steelbook, there was a bunch of knives with a circle in the middle, and if you flip it around, you put it back on the steelbook backwards, it shows you who the killer is. Actually, there, no spoilers.
Yeah, see?
But it was cool. 'cause
Points right to the killer.
the whole film's a murder mystery whodunit, and if you buy the
And then the
steelbook,
DVD just fucking spoils it for you.
well, if you know
Yeah, how
to
many
do
people
that,
are putting
how
it
many-
on backwards?
Yeah.
Well,
Who's
no-
going to buy the DVD,
Yeah, but
take
now
it
that-
out, go, oh, I love my steelbook, I'm going to put this back on. But I might put it on back the front, see what
Yeah, but it's not
happens.
those people. It's the people on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and everywhere else who see that and go, "Oh, I didn't see that film yet. Well, I guess I know who the killer is now."
The only
Then
place
see
I've
when you
seen
don't
it,
go
though,
on Reddit and when a thing says, "Oh my
Spoiler.
god, spoiler! Look at this Easter egg for Knives Out." Don't watch it.
Here's another thing: Knives Out is all right. Does it need a sequel? No.
Knives Out is
no,
not
but
alright.
I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm fine with it having a sequel.
As long as Ryan Johnson isn't writing it, I'm fine with it.
But you saying it doesn't need a sequel? That's like saying they should have only made one Poirot movie or one Sherlock movie.
They should have just not made a Knives Out movie.
Because it's a series of films, or it's going to be a series of films about a detective. We haven't had one of those. When was the last time we had a detective?
I am looking forward to I suspect foul play.
Nah,
More.
plot twist. The detective is about his Lakeith Stanfield's character.
I mean, I'll take that as well. I love Keith
I'll be
Stanfield.
happy with that. Right, let's get fucking cracking.
It's Meandering Movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes, of course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast, where we talk about movies. And I ate a car. Now it's in my belly.
What kind of car?
A Fiat Punto.
A Fiat Punto.
Ah, Susan, give me my car. Fetch me a
You
cat.
can. You ate it.
What is going on?
We're going to do a fucking movie roundup for January and February. I'm Gary.
I am the avant-gav in Gav. In.
What was that meant? Was that meant to be avant-garde?
Yeah.
This is the earliest one yet.
I'm getting a wank sign from Ryan.
For Ryan, it's me.
Avant-gav. Avant-gav? Gavin.
Avant-garde.
Avant-gav.
Avant-gav isn't a thing.
Yeah, but I've just made it a thing.
Be
Not a thing.
Gavant-garde.
Oh, that's better. You could have said that. Gavin-garde. Yeah, that would be good.
Avant-garde, yeah.
No, you're not getting that because that's good. You can be avant-gav.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Avant-gav.
The one your one sounds like you're saying I'm savant gav, like
Savant
you're a
gav.
savant.
Avant-gav.
I think you're a savant.
Who's that prick did the prick in his corner say his name yet?
Yeah,
he
Ryan,
did.
you said it as well.
You said it for him. And this week we're doing a January-February movie roundup, which I've said twice. We're going to talk about movies that came out over the last 2 months because we missed January.
What
'cause
months?
We were
What months
busy
were they,
as hell.
Gary?
January,
January
February,
and February.
February, Joey.
Joey.
Feb. I fucking. By the way, February's only got 28 days, which is bullshit.
Not this year, it didn't.
No, not this year, but that's my point. How many months have got 31 days? Just take some of those days and put them in February. Why the fuck do we have a leap year?
Yeah, but February doesn't need the days. It's fine. We've made it this far in
No,
life.
but it's short, and we have to give it an extra fucking day every year, every 4 years. It's dumb. Yes.
What
Because
it-
it takes the sun longer to go around the earth. every
Did you
4
just put
years.
your fucking hand up to ask this question?
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt. Don't interrupt, Gary. I always put my hand up when I want to talk to Gary.
But what?
What?
But I don't understand. Why can't we just...
Because it takes the
Because-
sun every 4 years. It takes the sun longer to go around the earth.
So why don't we
then
just add a day to February
we have done that.
once every 4 years?
Yeah.
Because
And then
it
just
only
take a day
happens-
off somewhere else in the year.
Because it takes 365 and a quarter days
Uh-huh.
for the
the sun to orbit the earth.
Well, no, I don't
the
think
Earth
it
to
does.
orbit the sun.
No, it does.
How?
Because it does.
Actually,
Time.
you know what? Here's a crazy thing as
Don't
well.
say flat Earth.
No, I'm not. What I was going to say is
The Loch Ness Monster shot in Titanic.
But I just feel like we kind of skipped winter, didn't we? I guarantee we'll get another bunch of snow. In fact, we got a bunch of snow again.
Where the fuck have you been living? We didn't skip winter at all.
Yeah, we did. We usually get snowy winters, and it's just been pissing rain. We had a bit of snow, but it came at the end of January, like 30 days too late.
What are you
So
on
maybe
about?
we're just fucking adding time on. Anyway, my point being, it's dumb. And
The seasons and the time are different.
it's dumb.
Okay.
So we're doing a movie review roundup of January and February.
February.
Uh,
Start us off, Gav. I want to talk about Sonic.
uh,
I'm starting us off. It was
I
fine.
hate you so much. I was just gonna point out. Obviously, there are a ton of films that came out in January and February, but we talked about a great number of them in our Oscars roundup
didn't talk
and
about Sonic,
live
yeah.
reactions. So, if you want to hear us talk about any of those movies, like, for example, Jojo Rabbit or Joker or The Irishman, go back to our Oscars episode. We talked about them ad nauseum. We're going to be talking about some of the films that didn't get nominated, which some of them fucking should have, and just
Like
get a chance.
Sonic.
For example, our first film we're going to talk about, which is an absolute gem of a masterpiece, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, I
You
feel
haven't
like...
seen this one, have you, Ryan?
Nope.
So Ryan's now going to be on his phone for the next 28 minutes while Gary and I
get
deeply
into it.
and wonderfully dissect the gem that is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh. Yeah, thoughts?
It's a movie. I saw it.
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's fine. That's
like-
you know what? That's as good as I can expect.
Here's what I'll say. For it being a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Which is maybe the kindest thing I can say.
100%. It's fine. It's a movie. I seen
It's-
it. I came out. I went. I'm not going to watch it again. But it didn't offend me greatly.
It's fairly entertaining.
Is it not just a huge setup movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Sonic flosses twice. It sets up what will be presumably a much better movie in Sonic 2. And also, it's called Sonic the Hedgehog, but the film's not really about
Does
Sonic the
Sonic have
Hedgehog.
teeth?
Yeah, but he's got little cartoon straight teeth now, rather
But
than creepy human teeth like he had before.
Does he brush his teeth or just floss?
Just floss.
No, he does like the dance move, the floss.
I don't know what that is.
Shut up. It's that Fortnite move.
It's the thing where they like to do that, the whole like hands behind
Oh,
it.
I didn't know that's what that was
Sorry,
called.
say that again, Gav?
I'm flossing for people who can't. Obviously, no one can see it. I was going to say the people who can, but no one can see what I'm doing.
Unfortunately, we could see.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what that was called.
it's
I'm
called
not
the floss.
I'm not down with
You're
the
not
kids.
down with the kids.
You don't play Fortnite.
Deb, 420, dance on your haters' graves.
You're so old.
I'm not. I'm cool and hip.
I would the two comments the two things that I come away from when it comes to Sonic Hedgehog is one, Jim Carrey was clearly there for 2 weeks.
Chewing up
They filmed all
scenery.
these scenes in 1 or 2 locations, and he has a butt ton of fun. And it's fun to watch Jim Carrey just do Jim Carrey.
What a ton?
Butt ton.
Okay.
I love a butt ton. Second comment.
I love buttons too.
Buttons. If you count 7 buttons, it keeps the ghosts away. My second comment would be if anyone gets that reference, I'll be very happy.
I don't get that reference.
You've seen the show,
What is it?
The Haunting of Hill House. My second comment would be, I came out of this film. When I watched this film,
You sounded like a savant when you said that.
what?
You count 7 buttons. You get the ghost.
I'm a savant. I'm an avant-garde.
I'm gonna hibernate for this episode.
You'll come around for the next movie.
Sorry.
Yeah, this movie has an astonishing amount of plot holes.
Yep.
Literally, its opening scene. I don't care about spoilers. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. You can't
Yeah,
spoil
it's
this
fine.
movie. His mentor, like, throws
Owl.
him.
Long old claw, silver
Sure.
claw, something like that.
She is trying to protect him. She sends him to Earth, and then the portal's closing, and she's about to fight the bad guys. And Sonic runs at regular speed trying to save her. He's the fastest fucking thing on the planet.
Little baby Sonic.
And he just
catching on
runs
that.
at regular speed and goes, oh, and doesn't make it
Maybe
in
he
time.
can't run fast on his planet.
Oh, no, he can.
He
Because
can.
literally the opening scene is him just run. He's like, I can cross the entire island in 2 seconds. It's just
Is
like,
he from Texas?
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, and I do love me some bits and grits.
It's not a great movie. It's fine. It is very inoffensive. It's about James Marsden's character more than it is about Sonic.
James Marsden is plain white bread.
Yeah,
I like playing with it.
it's fine. It's a movie. Maybe don't go see it. Maybe wait for it to hit Netflix. There you go. That's the review.
Yeah. With Sonic, it's not insulting. It's not bad. I mean,
Sonic 2 will be a better film because it sets up. The first one sets up Sonic 2. And Sonic 2 will be presumably all about Sonic.
my
Tails,
favourite thing
and
is
Eggman.
after seeing the movie, and I said,
And
to you,
Broken Knuckles.
I went to see Sonic, and you're like, again, spoilers, who cares? What about the Tails thing at the end? And I'm like, you think I stayed for the post-credit scene? Literally before the credits, the first second of the credits started, I was out of my seat and out of the fucking cinema. I'm like, I ain't staying around for any longer.
So recommend, not recommend?
Again, like you said, if it shows up on a streaming platform,
You wanna kill
stick
an
it on
hour
in the
and a half.
background. It's funny, fine enough. It's, yeah.
Cool. I gave it a 5 out of 10, I think. It's completely middling.
Do you reckon Tails is really off balanced? Because obviously a tail's there to keep an animal balanced, but obviously he's got like more.
No, it makes him super balanced. That's why he can fly. He can balance on air. He also can fly super fast at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is not a Tails thing.
Is he in Sonic the Hedgehog predominantly, or just as like a cutscene?
What, in the movie?
Yeah.
After credit scene.
Oh.
Again, it's setting up. I've got to find Sonic. Next movie.
Next movie we're going to talk about is a movie that came out very recently, The True History of the Kelly Gang.
Yeah, Charlie Kelly from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This is the
true history of his.
this is the true history of Charlie Kelly, right?
Yeah, so give us a plot synopsis.
Please don't.
It starts off with him as a baby. He gets thrown through a magical portal by an owl. He then tries to save the owl, but he runs at regular speed, which is weird. Then gets picked up by Dennis and Mac in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They take him to a bar. They drop him on his head, and that's what. And then the rest of it is it's a prequel to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, basically.
Sounds good, yeah.
But it's all told from Charlie Kelly's point of view, which is why it's called The True History of the Kelly Gang.
I've never seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, fine.
But you guys would have been really confused then because there was so many references. No, I'm joking. I haven't seen this. I'm going to shut up for now.
So yeah, this is now one that Ryan and I and Audio Boy, who's currently munching on a big old bit of pizza, have all seen.
Why do you say things in such weird ways?
Because this is the way I talk.
Okay.
You've known me for what, like a year and a half, 2 years at this point?
You don't talk like this normally.
Oh, okay.
You're showing off to the listeners.
And they love it. They lap it up.
Laugh it up.
They're like a sponge for my wet goodness. Tell me what you thought of The True History of the Kelly Gang, Ryan.
I thought it was a perfect film from start to finish, apart from every single word that Charlie Hunnam iterated.
This is something like
Someone start a GoFundMe for that man to get fucking accent lessons. Like, honestly, I think he's a great actor.
he's got a screen presence.
Yeah, his presence is amazing. He's like, even like his tone is good. His emotional portrayals are great. But what the fuck is that voice?
I don't know.
Every time I watch him, I just think of that Lemmy sketch where he's like, that fucking voice, man.
It's because the other movie you and I both saw was Guy Ritchie's
The Gentleman.
The Gentleman, and then he's in that, and he can't,
Oh my God.
he can't nail down the accent.
I think actually The True History of the Kelly Gang is his best accent. He was doing quite well, and you can tell that he's like meant to be like an English soldier, but he still has that weird, like, I think, did he not say something like Sons of Anarchy fucked his voice? Like fucked his accent
I've
or
no
something,
idea.
apparently. So he worked in Sons of Anarchy for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And apparently just talking in an American accent has just fucked his accent, and now he has no idea what it is.
The Gary Oldman had the same problem, I think, where he lost his accent for a while because he was just going from movie to movie, just doing so many different voices.
But his accent is consistently bad in Sons of Anarchy from the first season, so I don't really know what the
Yeah,
fuck
he's not Gary
that was
Oldman
not a good
levels.
excuse.
But everyone, I mean, yeah, like you say, Charlie Hunnam, he's good in the movie. He has a great screen presence in the movie. But everyone else in that movie is fucking immense.
I like the way that the story is portrayed, that they don't overuse anyone.
Yeah,
Like George Mackay is probably George Mackay and the wee boy who plays young Ned Kelly.
yeah.
They're in it the most, but not even too much because it's split into two halves. Charlie Hunnam has a very short part.
Russell Crowe's there for a wee
Russell
bit.
Crowe
as well.
has a short part. Nicholas Hoult has a cross part. His mum, I think, is the
McKin-
most consistent character. She's called Jessie
Something.
Jessie.
It's Essie Davis, right?
That's what I said. Essie. Essie Davis. Yeah, it is. And she's the most consistent character, and she's a fucking powerhouse of a mum.
Jesus Christ, she is.
Holds the whole thing together. The weird kid from The End of the Fucking World is in it.
Is he?
Yeah, the kid who plays Frodo. The kid from The Shop. When they go in the shop and they rob the gas station?
Yeah.
That kid. He's in the film as a serious character, and I cannot take him seriously. He's the weirdest looking guy ever.
I think the thing I love the most about the movie is the idea, the way it approaches morally ambiguous characters.
Yeah.
Because every person in that film, like, for example, his father, when he comes along,
Yeah.
he talks about his father kind of positively in the beginning, but you realise his father's just a degenerate piece of crap.
But then he also gets redeemed at the end as
He
well.
does, yeah. And then Russell Crowe comes along, and he goes in that journey of Russell Crowe's character, and you're like, this is the father figure he's always wanted.
It's not for the faint-hearted. the
No.
film. It's probably one of the most difficult hanging scenes I've ever had to watch as well.
Yes.
It's really full on.
The film is intense.
It is.
Its levels of violence are
It's brutal.
add to the tension.
Am I going to enjoy this film? if I go to
Yes,
see it?
because it's such a great.
I would say that the last portion of the film will be difficult. It's hard work.
It is hard work, but it's a film. It's worth doing the work to watch.
I don't think you'll enjoy it.
No.
I think.
From what
I think you will.
I
I think the performances and the kind of the path that some of these characters go on, and especially George Mackay's character, you expect him to be one thing,
Yeah.
and he's not in the beginning, and for a really long time he's not that person.
yeah, because I've known a reasonable amount about
Yeah.
Ned Kelly, and he's never, because obviously the whole thing is about, like, it's Russell Crowe sort of gives him that lesson in the middle of the film, and he's like, write your own fucking history, because if you don't, the English will write it for you and they'll get it wrong.
Yeah.
And obviously that's just how it's portrayed. He's portrayed as this really evil bad guy, and when he comes out of prison, he's not really.
You expect this monster.
He kind of does his best to make his life better.
Like, interestingly, he's kind of the most morally
aware.
aware and okay character for much of the film, and
Yeah.
then there's the turn,
Yeah.
and that's
And it's not like a slight turn. It's not like
It's
it's so annoying as well. Where most things, like, one thing kind of happens, he just goes.
It
Like, he
is
just
very
goes
jarring.
mental.
Yeah.
and then that final scene in like a pool hall or something,
Yeah.
fucking, like, just the visuals of that scene are stunning.
Yeah.
Also, if you have epilepsy.
Good God.
When I went to see this film, usually there's like a wee thing on the door, like, hey, flashing
Yeah,
images.
this
If
film has
blah, blah.
epilepsy
This
warning.
film, there was no warning for epilepsy. And there needs to be warnings for epilepsy,
Yeah.
because this film, there's like one or two scenes where it's intense.
I
like
really
the flashing
enjoyed
imagery.
the flashing light stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, because
strobing.
it almost kind of transfers into the madness of the mind of
Yeah.
Ned Kelly at that point.
The end scene where, spoilers, where, like, they're in the bunker and all the police officers are coming, and they're like, they've all got like torches, and they're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? They're like, just shoot the torches, and then they shoot like the first four, like, oh, it's gonna be fine, and then they all put all the torches out,
start to go out.
like
and
kind of almost in that, like, same as Game of Thrones, but done well.
also the great part about that
And then
scene,
they all like light up, like they're
Yeah.
all white, and you're like, oh, it's so good.
and also the great part about that scene is the entire time the camera stays in that bunker with them. It never really goes anywhere. You're just in that madness.
Even when he leaves the bunker, it's
Yeah.
inside his helmet.
You're just
You can't see, you never see in front of him. It's like, it faces like when George Mackay's, like, Ned Kelly comes out the bunker for his final fight. Do you know anything about the Kelly gang? He basically built him and his army,
quote unquote.
like, armor. Essentially, he was inspired by the drawings of a monitor boat,
Yeah.
and he built armor for it. So, like, he puts this fucking huge helmet on so that they can't get shot, and it just films like his face with this fucking strobing light coming in, and like gunfire and stuff, and it's
It
it's
really
so
kind of
good.
draws you into the madness of
It's visceral.
that character and his world, and it's Gary gave Ryan a fucking wag hand.
I got a wank hand there. There you go. I really enjoyed it.
It's so fucking good, and George McKay is amazing, and Nicholas Hoult as well is this kind of like
Stop saying people's
sleazy
names wrong.
Nicholas Hoult.
Hilt.
Holt.
Nicholas Holt. I don't care.
George McKay, you went for as well.
Yeah, the kind of sleazy antagonism of Nicholas Holt he's so good, and then the escalation of that character as well.
There's a point where Nicholas Holt threatens to shoot a baby in the head.
Yeah, again, like like all the characters start somewhere, and this is what you want from characters. There's I won't use the word growth because growth could kind of
You can still use growth, but if it's a bad growth, you might want to use the word cancerous.
The negative connotation of the word growth, where all these characters
like a cancerous growth.
Yeah, exactly. Go to such awful places, so many of them. But it's a kind of a spiral of madness. By the end, you're just like, I'll just keep wanting to be a part of it. And you're so pulled into it. It's amazing.
Thomas and Mackenzie's great as well.
I'm looking forward.
Yes.
I am looking forward to getting around to seeing it. But just because we've got a bunch of films.
Yeah, sorry, we really got went in on that.
No, it's good. It was good to listen to.
That was one thing I thought when I was watching it. I was thinking,
next?
I was like, because I think it's probably the only film that I saw first.
I
Yeah,
think so.
you did, and you were like,
messaged in
you're
saying-
like, this
Yeah.
is like, Gav, this is your type of film.
And I thought about that the whole way through. I wasn't sure, but I was like, you're really hard to tell, Audio Boy, whether you like films or not. And I was like, damn it.
you don't have a mic.
I think I saw it before you, actually.
Yeah.
Right, next film. Something. Let's go.
I was going to say
after that,
a
let's go
total change in
light.
pace. Birds of Prey. So everyone except Audio Boy has seen this, I believe.
I
I
watched
wish
it-
that you could pay me to see
Lucky.
it.
I watched it
You.
today for this podcast, right? And see if any of you ever fucking pipe up and be like, you don't do enough for this podcast. I sat for an hour and 48 minutes today and watched some tripe. Like, it was god awful.
Yeah.
I think
Before we nail this one to the proverbial
try and find
cross,
any positives.
is there anything we like?
The scene.
We were before recording, we were trying to claw
Trying to get
positives.
something.
Here's one I can go for. The scene in which the guy makes the egg and bacon sandwich.
That
is
egg and bacon
fucking
sandwich looks fucking amazing.
sexual.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
sexual.
you're right.
I would fuck that sandwich.
That's one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's just watching a guy make a fucking sandwich.
It's almost like it's like the really amazing shots in like the Hannibal when he's cooking.
absolutely.
It's
That's what I was
But it's like
thinking.
that on like a not posh level. It's
Yeah.
just like a
just like-
shitty flat top iron grill and a
eggs,
greasy
bit of
spoon.
hot sauce, some
But
bread.
that scene also it's marred by a problem that is continuous throughout the entire
Margot
film,
Robbie.
which is the narration
Yes.
of fucking Harley Quinn. Because God help me, the narration by Harley Quinn is insufferable.
Yeah.
By minute 2, I'm like, shut up. Stop talking. You don't need to talk. You're just telling me what's happening in the fucking scene. I can see what's happening in the fucking scene,
Yeah.
and you're adding nothing.
And
Please shut up.
You are right. It is incessant, and you're right, pointless. It's just a narration there because
It's quirky and
they
fun.
wanted it to be inside Harley Quinn's head, but it's just
And
Also-
I think like Margot Robbie's
painful.
dialect in the film is like literally 50% narration. She doesn't actually even speak that much as a character.
Also building
Wait, we're doing good.
Yeah, I'm trying to
okay,
wait.
because I can go.
Black
We're
Mask
gonna go. Black Mask was
Mask
so close.
yes, it could have been such
Ewan
an interesting
McGregor
character.
clearly having a lot of fun, which is fun to watch.
Nice. You wanted him to be I wanted him to be a proper villain. I thought he was going to be a full-on Suicide Squad antagonist for the next,
Yeah, for a
foreseeable
while.
future.
Yeah.
Spoilers, he gets blown up.
He gets
Yeah, he
fucking
dies.
exploded, and it's a great death scene. But
Second spoilers.
why are we back to?
Victor's ass is the most boring death scene
Oh god,
ever.
It's
Why
just
are we
a-
back to killing our villains though? That's now going forwards down this soft rebooted universe in the next Suicide Squad. Black Mask, who is a fairly sizable Batman villain,
yeah.
and Victor Zsasz, who's
Yeah.
a pretty well-known, are now both dead in this universe.
And also two villains who would slot really easily into this realism, kind of trying to bring it into a more modern age
Yep.
film. They would slot so easily into that, and also stop putting the Falcone family in every Batman film. There's so many more interesting gangster villains.
I mean, I think it's clear, and this has been on the wall for a while in writing, is that DC has no fucking clue what they're doing.
But there's no forward plan whatsoever.
Not at all.
totally.
Like when it comes to Robert Pattinson's Batman movie, the whole idea is it's supposed to be a rogues gallery of villains.
Right.
But it's like, they keep killing. By the time we get to fucking that movie, they'll have killed
Well,
half.
we're going
the,
back with that, maybe, remember.
Or is that going back into. Also, we
Yeah.
could maybe young McGregor as Black Mask. I don't know.
But then the Black Mask he this is just me getting annoyed about Batman law. He shouldn't be able to take the black mask off.
No,
That's
it's
the whole
fused
point.
to his
it's
face.
fused to his face. So
I thought it was going to end with it somehow.
I thought he was going to be in
gonna
an
end there.
accident in some way where the fusion was going to take place.
or at least the end of the movie was going to be him getting set on fire, and then that was going to
Yeah, yeah.
and then
And it's
then
Harley Quinn's fault, and he's
like, I'm gonna get that Harley Quinn. Like,
But then also
classic end of a movie,
Yeah.
keeping the antagonist alive.
like there's a scene at the
bullshit.
end where he kind of crashes out from the rubble, and he's like,
In fact, do you know what did it well? Surprisingly, Sonic the Hedgehog.
it did.
You finish up Sonic the Hedgehog with a villain who looks like the villain you now know, and like he looks like
And it makes
Eggman.
sense for his characterization.
Makes sense for the
going
character,
forward.
and it all fits well, and then it sets up for the second movie. Whereas this one just went, "Hey, you know what? Black Mask dead, and also,
But also-
wasn't the Black Mask, I guess."
It fucks the future as well because he's killed by a future Batgirl, which means that Batman would have never let her into the Bat family, and she would never have been trained by Batman.
So many problems, so many problems.
I did really enjoy the rollerblade chase scene. That was interesting. Something
Yeah.
that I've not seen in a film before. Done quite well.
I guess that's another positive. Is some of the action is well done.
I think that was okay. So it's a positive, but also annoying. All Harley Quinn's action is really well done. They really slacked on every other character's action.
I want to say it was the stunt team from the John Wick movies that helped choreograph some of the stuff. I'm going to double check that.
There was
you
one.
check.
There was one joke really near the end where Harley Quinn comes in with her rollerblades on,
Yeah.
or roller skates, not blades, and one character says to the other one, "When did she have time for a shoe change?"
Yeah.
And it was the most like undelivered line in a film I think I've seen in about 5 years.
That was so bad.
It was so badly delivered, and oh man! And it was straight after that. There was a really nice moment, I think, with the exact same two characters where her hair's going all over the joint.
Yeah, and then
the other
she
one goes
offers her a bobble to tie her hair up. I was just thinking about that
perfect. I
there.
was like, oh, that's a great bit.
Yeah, that's really good.
But so weird for it to be like one after the other, crap, like real crap, followed by it's
Quite
nice.
natural and quite good. Yeah.
But then I think that's the kind of film on a whole. Really, it just flip flops between.
Yeah, and also Black Canary is in so many fights
Yep.
before she decides to use her super ability.
Yep,
Ridiculous.
it's weird.
It's like they didn't have a budget for it.
Well, it's like that. And it's because I think my theory on it is they don't quite want to lean into the overly fantastic side of Batman, and it's maybe an overhang from Nolan where people now see Batman as,
Oh, honestly,
as
Nolan's fucked it.
well, people now see Batman as a almost real world
Yeah.
superhero. So when they bring out Justice Leagues and stuff, they're not willing to give Batman his more crazy shit. For reference for you, Gav, Batman, when he goes with the Justice League to help them do shit, always has some crazy fucking millionaire gizmo so that he's not just a guy in a bat suit. He's got
Yeah.
a fucking laser whip that can rip a dinosaur in half, or some other utter
Or he's got a little
nonsense.
laser that he points into the pool that melts Chris O'Donnell.
He's got so much shit, but they're not doing it for him, and then this just kind of
And it's
solidified
so
the fact
annoying
they're not
because
doing
they're
it.
just doing it for Batman as well. Because
Yeah.
Aquaman is like ridiculous.
Yep,
But
talking
it's just-
fish.
Yeah, talking fish.
drumming octopus,
Yeah, all that shit.
Fucking
Squiddly
drumming
diddly.
octopus.
The man from Atlantis. The lot.
Patrick, what's his face?
Michael Fish.
Michael Fishman,
Patrick
Yeah.
Bateman.
No, it wasn't Patrick Robertson. Patrick,
Bateman.
The star.
was it Bateman?
No.
Patrick Bateman's the guy from Psycho.
Patrick Wilson. Thank you. Is it him? I don't fucking know. Who
cares?
Whatever. Anyway, moving on. Next movie. Let's go.
Next movie. I mean, guess what would you rating wise? What would you give?
So, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn, and the Emancipation of
Far
Harley
too many
Quinn of
fucking
the
references
Joker.
back to Suicide Squad as well.
Oh yeah,
I would give it I think I gave it a 2. I think I gave it a 2.
Ryan.
Out
I
of
think
10.
you were doing it in fluid ounces,
Fluid ounces.
if I remember correctly. 20 fluid ounces being a pint.
Do you know when someone comes into the bar and they're like, I've never tried that before, can I have a wee taste of that?
Yeah.
That's the amount.
So like a dribble,
A dribble.
a dribble, and I would 100% not recommend.
When
Do
you
not
take-
fucking watch that
When
movie.
you take the nozzle off of a pint and
Yeah.
like a wee bit falls out, that's what I'd give it.
Next movie.
Next movie
Gavin,
we are going to
tell
talk
us the next one.
is a movie that the four of us all went to the cinema to see together. Just Mercy.
And Phil and Gavin didn't cry nearly as much
I mean, to give some
as me and Gary.
to give some context, Gary has said this many times before. He'll cry at anything. He's an
cry a lot.
emotional fucking waterfall.
Like crying.
And then you had drank a lot of alcohol that day.
I was fucked.
You were out with
Steamboats.
your nan for a lovely wee morning of breakfast, lunch, and booze.
Shout out, Beldy.
Shout out to your nan. And so you were a wee bit more emotionally vulnerable because of the alcohol.
Oh god, that film hit me in the face.
Whereas Audio Boy and I were both clean, sober, and one of us is dead inside. I'll leave the audience to figure out which one it is. But what did we all
Funnily
think together?
enough, it's Audio Boy. You stare into his eyes and you can tell there's no soul.
He's like an animated character.
Oh, God, no, don't look at me. Ah, he's looking right at me.
My God, Gary just turned into sand. What did we all think of Just Mercy?
I meant to ask you before the episode started, by the way, are you going to get your eyebrows tattooed on?
Fuck off! There's
Or
nothing wrong with my
are you
eyebrows.
just leaving them like that now?
See, now this is carrying over from a previous episode that we don't know when it came out.
Well, I know when it came out.
God, your face is red.
It is red, I
If
know
you want to
that.
get them tattooed
I
on,
looked in the mirror. What did we think of Just Mercy?
Cannot remember one single thing that happened in the film. I was fucked.
that bad?
Nah, I'm kidding on.
No, you got fucking
I
annihilated
thought it
afterwards.
was so good.
I think we did speak about it afterwards. So my very quick recap on it for the listeners would be: the film isn't the most groundbreakingly made movie. It's enjoyable. I really, really enjoyed watching it, but I can appreciate that it's treading on ground that's been trodden on 1,000 times. But it does do it very well. But it's not a joy to watch, I guess, and it's not the most kind of.
The performances make it a good film. I would say.
Absolutely.
Michael
The
B. Jordan,
performances and the
Jamie
story will
Foxx.
make it great. There's not really any scene that I'd say stands out.
I would say the only scene that really stood out to me was the first meeting between Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx's characters.
All their interactions at the table are good, though.
Yeah.
The only kind of big scene for me, I think, is like Pops is, and like I'm talking kind of these big. If you stick it in a trailer, it gets you excited. Is where they all start banging their cups against the.
Sure,
the-
yeah.
You know, like I'm talking something that really evokes an emotion.
I think because there are a fair few movies that kind of follow this kind of through line, and I think if you're looking for movies that are going to make more of an impact, primarily because of the directors behind them, movies like Mississippi Burning or A Time to Kill, those are movies that are similar in tone and kind of ideas and themes.
Yeah.
But there's more. What's the word I want? There's more authenticity or intensity to those movies. Whereas Just Mercy feels, obviously the story is very important. It tells an important story, and it's a story that is meaningful. But it's done in a very kind of plain, flatline kind of way.
Yeah, I'm
There's
with you on
nothing really, like you said, groundbreaking or outstanding about it.
Yeah.
Other than the performances.
I cried a lot.
I mean, it is. It's a heartbreaking
I mean,
film.
yeah,
And it really does hit you in the emotions if you can watch it and you get really swept up with the characters, which is easy to do.
Yeah.
But
Even
like
the
Gavin
bad
says-
characters, like you're always kind of wondering, is like Brie Larson's intent good, and the guy from Peter Pettigrew's son,
Peter Pettigrew's son.
what's his name?
Rafe's Ball.
Rafesball.
But yeah, I'm with you, Gav. That the film itself isn't. It's not a film. It's like it's not. It's what's a weird thing to say. It's not a great movie, but it's an enjoyable film. I don't know. There's some
Good
way,
story.
Some way of
A
explaining
narrative.
that.
It was almost like the most. I don't know. Like I could never figure out where it was in terms of rating it. It's almost exactly half a pint.
I think I gave it just over. I think I gave it a 6.
Yeah,
Or
like a half a pint.
probably
but
like a
you've
6 out of 10 for
tried
me.
a pint.
I would recommend it, but it's much like I've said before. Wait for it to come to streaming services. Give it a watch.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely one to watch. Don't watch it as like a sort of background film. Pay attention from the start,
Yeah.
but it's not
Give it
something
its
to
Don't
really
go
respect.
crazy out of your
Give it
way
the
for
respect it deserves, but don't chase it. It's
Next
not
movie, Gavin.
Next movie we're going to talk about is one that we thought we'd all be talking about during the Oscar run, but shockingly wasn't the case. Uncut Gems.
So this one, I'm still on the outer rim of.
This is one that's already on streaming services, straight to Netflix. It was in cinemas for one day,
Yeah.
I think. And this is another one that I would suggest you absolutely watch, but do not watch as a background film or if you want to chill out. It is fucking
Intense.
intense.
I've heard the scene where Adam Sandler gives a rim job to a child is fucking horrendous.
That's not a scene that happens in the movie.
You told me it was.
Nope.
Yeah, last night you said
I've not spoken
can't
to
speak
you,
to you, Gary.
in
I'm watching
7 days.
a man give a. Oh, you might have just been watching porn. Sorry.
I hate you. Get out of my life, please.
Gavin, you've gone all red. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Still look
Uncut Gems,
surprised.
directed by the Safdie brothers, whose previous film was Good Time with Robert Pattinson. Good Time was fucking immense, so I was really excited for Uncut Gems. And
Good Time
also-
is a relaxing experience compared to Uncut Gems.
The thing with the Safdie brothers is, it's funny you say it's a relaxing experience because obviously it's not, but it's somehow more relaxing than Uncut Gems.
Oh my god, Uncut Gems, and nothing like.
Because I remember watching Good Time being like, fuck, that was an intense experience. Because it's just, it goes. There's no point where it kind of breaks. Whereas Uncut Gems is that, but even fucking more.
It's also that thing as well where you meet a character who's quite morally bad at the start,
Yes.
and then they just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig a hole as the film goes on.
Yeah.
And you're screaming at the TV. You're like, just stop making these fucking awful decisions.
Yeah.
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then there's bits where you think it's going to go right, and then it goes wrong again, and you're like, oh my god, yeah,
It's an interesting one because it's one of those situations where it's a character. He's not a likable person, and he's someone you wouldn't want to have to interact with in real life.
but you root for him from the start, from the get-go.
And as a character to watch, he's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because he lives a life so different from us.
And I'm so
but
scared,
so understandable that you
scared
can.
that people are going to be like, see the words Adam Sandler, see his face, and be like,
Yes.
no, he just does shit.
I mean,
because he is
Immense.
excellent in it. It's so good.
And that's why he got snubbed at the Oscars.
100%.
fundamentally. If you read into it and look it up,
Not Oscar worthy. We've said it
people
so
were
many
saying
times.
he's not got the Oscar caliber or whatever the fuck it is, and you just think.
But this film
come
proves.
on.
This and Punch Drunk Love prove that he does.
What was it he said? He's like, if this doesn't get the recognition it deserves, I'm going to make Jack and Jill 2.
Buzz in.
I mean, I can't wait for that movie to come
So
out.
yeah, I don't think we should spoil this one because what happens in it is
It's insane.
probably one of the most shocking
That-
film moments.
That end, because the thing with the film is, like we've said, it's intense. It's such a ride, and you're on it, and your heart is fucking beating at your chest. You're just like, you're just desperate to take a breath and just kind of take.
it's-
And then there's a moment at the end that happens, and all of the air leaves your body. You're just
I'm
like,
going to say something else, Wank.
fuck.
It's like being underwater for just a little bit too long.
It is. It is
Interesting.
It's and I've lost the thing I was going to say about Adam Sandler.
I didn't have that experience watching the film.
Yes, but you're a robot that doesn't make sense.
That was uncalled for.
That was uncalled for.
Like, I think it was just because it was on Netflix and like I was in the flat
I
just watching
can't-
it, chilling out.
I cannot even imagine the
cinema.
how that would have been in the cinema.
Watching it in the cinema, I probably would have been like stressed out of my nut.
I mean,
but
but for comparison, I sat
until
in-
the last like 5 minutes, I was like, okay, this is whatever.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, me neither, actually, man.
Like it's,
I mean,
I don't know.
for context, I watched the movie separately from you, but I sat in the same seat that you sat in. The
You
same,
don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I came in.
Oh, yeah,
Phil
you did.
watches everything cross-legged on the table.
That's true.
It's like, did you have the lights off?
No.
Okay, you always.
I go, yeah.
I'm a lights off, TV, full focus, curtains closed, geese it. And
No
that
clothes.
movie finished, and I was just like, holy fuck.
Absolute
Like,
shout out to Kevin Garnett, professional basketball player.
Yeah, who's good.
When I saw he was going to be in it, I was like, yeah, he'll probably make an appearance. He's one of the main characters.
Yeah, he's good.
The Weeknd was in it.
The Weekend was
And it
it?
would have been weird because The Weeknd had to get a wig for his old hair.
Well,
Anyway, next film.
no, I was going to finish out by just...
Don't. No, I'm
okay,
kidding.
no, just absolutely give this movie the due it deserves, because it didn't get the due it deserves. I mean, it did it some of the award shows, but it didn't for the others. And people need to understand that the Safdie brothers are just fucking something to watch, because these boys are going to continue to do some amazing work. And Adam Sandler, fucking... People did say to me, like, oh, I'm not watching that new Adam Sandler film, because they just assume it's an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah, I've had a lot of that as well.
This is not an Adam Sandler film. This is a Safdie brothers film who pull a fucking immense performance out of a man who can act, but probably just doesn't want to, because he's like, I can just make a movie for $6 million and make fucking 50 million doing it.
He accidentally made Happy Gilmore really early, and that's just his life now.
Very,
Yeah.
very quickly on Adam Sandler. I know we've spoke about it off mic, but he done Funny People,
Yeah.
which was a film about a guy who has been typecast and he wants to get out of that role and start making more serious moves in his industry. Which I remember watching and going, this is Adam Sandler's cry for help. This is him making a movie about his own life.
Yeah.
Then he did that joke on Brooklyn Nine-Nine where
Yeah.
he's at the antiquities show and Jake Peralta was like, hey, you're Adam Sandler. He's like, yeah, I like antiquities. I'm actually a pretty in-depth guy. I'm not just fart jokes and boobies and stupid films. All right. Are you working on a film now? Yeah, I am actually. Oh, and who's in it? Kevin James? Well, yeah. And then he turns to the guy next to him and goes, his wife never wears a bra. I think you're going to love it. So again, making a joke about himself. And I kind of thought, maybe Adam Sandler's going to turn. And then he did like Jack and Jill or some other fucking nonsense shit after that.
What's that one? The family.
Bedtime stories or...
Oh, just go with it.
No, the like. I can't remember. It's one where it's two sequels where
My point
the
stands.
family are
Grown-ups.
Grown-ups, that's the
Grown-ups.
one.
Yeah, none of us fucking... Like, he just then did more of his usual Adam
But
Sandler
just like
stuff.
interestingly,
It's
here's
just
what I'm
weird.
thinking is it's maybe a kind of double-edged sword of like he's just like, fuck it, I can make a bunch of money, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's also a case of movie studios come to him like Netflix, who have just signed another 4-movie deal because his movies continue to be some of the highest watched on Netflix. And he's just like, movie studios aren't going to pick him up for anything else than what he does that makes money. He's like, oh, I want to do these serious dramas. Like, well, that's not going to make money. Do your dumb comedies, otherwise we're not going to fund anything. He's like, well, fuck. So the Safdie brothers probably came along and they're like, hey, we want you to do this serious drama. He's like, finally someone's going to give me the chance to do what I want to do. And all of them fucking knocked it out of the park.
We have got time for one more.
Well, that's I guess we can work this because I was
Real
going
quick, why did they use Amour toujours at the end of the film?
Stop,
It's such a weird choice.
stop talking to me about this. I keep telling you, I don't
He's
even
asked
know
me
what
this-
song that
He's
is.
genuinely asked me this question 2 times. I'm like, I don't.
It's such a weird choice.
What do they use?
Amour toujours. You know,
I actually knew what that was. I just knew if I asked you,
GBX
he'd
banger.
do the song.
Yeah. Copyright that.
We actually have 2 films left, but I was actually going to put these 2 together
Yeah.
and talk about them, which is The Lighthouse and Parasite.
Oh, Jesus. I was like, oh, I can't remember what ones we've got to talk about, but they're pretty easy ones.
Yeah, they're fucking big boys.
They're not. Yeah.
Have we spoken about Parasite?
We spoke about it for the Oscar
Some
episode,
of you
but none of
hadn't
us had
seen it.
Okay. Oh, which one do we do?
The next film we're going to talk about is The Lighthouse.
Didn't see it.
Yes, you did. I was about to say, if you hadn't seen it, I'm going to lash you.
You kept saying for like, there were so many weeks where you're like, I'm going to go see The Lighthouse tomorrow.
And I finally did it. I finally got to it. And I honestly, I fucking loved it. Where to start with that movie? It's a descent into madness that,
Is that what you thought?
well, at first I did. And then I think now I have a different read on it.
What do you think now?
So my theory on it is he's living out some form of hell, some form of personal hell.
That's my theory as well.
But,
Yeah,
it's,
that's
but
what
I think
thought.
he's doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like a Groundhog Day purgatory.
Yeah, purgatory, effectively. And I think at the end, we're jumping all the way to the end. If listeners, I apologize. At the
did.
end, when he looks at the light, I do believe that's him getting the knowledge of, oh, okay, this is my life now, before
Yeah.
it resets. I also have a theory that when this kind of comes from Bioshock Infinite as well, the 2 people that leave at the beginning,
Yeah.
you don't see their faces. That might just be Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. So it's like, broken versions go out, fresh new versions come in, because
Yeah.
it's purgatory. Is there's no set
That's just
anything.
the Preacher comics and the TV series based hell on that.
Yeah.
It's hell is just you living the worst day of your life over and over and over again.
Well, there you go. But yeah, no, I loved it. I think Willem Dafoe gave a stellar performance. Robert Pattinson gave a fucking stellar performance. I laughed way. I think, and that's another thing. I don't think we spoke about this
Yeah.
because we did all talk about this for listeners off mics. We're kind of giving you our cut down reviews, I guess. But I laughed so much, and it's
don't
such a weird thing where you're watching a film where it's not a funny movie,
But yeah.
but you know when to laugh because something happens. Like when he goes absolutely sick about his Robert Pattinson's like, yeah, your cooking's not great, and then he fucking goes mental. and
Willem
he-
Dafoe delivers a fucking monologue that is godlike.
It's an intense monologue about the scurvy of the sea, and an avengeful sea god will smite ye if you treat me like shit. And it cuts to Pattinson just scared
There's
on
just
the
like this
ground.
Literally quivering in the corner by
Great
his
pause.
bed.
All right, I like your fucking cookie.
It's just the pause. It's maybe like 4 or 5 seconds, and then just Pattinson's line delivery, and then just like laughter. And
And
it's
it
like,
cracks on.
And the
yeah.
bit there's the bit I
All the
love the
farts.
most was when, I mean, is this even a spoiler? It gets to the point where Pattinson is burying Defoe alive.
Yes.
And Defoe delivers his monologue there
Yep.
while getting mud thrown, like he's chewing mud,
to
spitting
get
it out.
through the fucking
Like
monologue.
you can see the wet mud on his lips.
It's
and
fucking. He's committed in
it's
that scene.
So
as well.
so good.
Yeah.
I think with a movie like The Lighthouse, there's so much you can gush about, and I think the biggest reason you can gush about this movie is because when the three of us sat around one night at a table talking about it, we all had massively different interpretations of what the movie was. When
Yeah.
Audio Boy and I went to see it, we came out and we were sitting there at a table, and we both just kind of went, maybe this is what's happening,
Yeah.
maybe this is what's happening, maybe this, and you don't. For some people, they'll hate that because they'll want the
You want
movie.
the answers.
They'll want the movie to be like, by the end, Willem Dafoe goes, well, everybody, this is what was actually happening.
Yeah.
But the reason I love The Lighthouse is long after seeing it, I can read other people's interpretations, I can watch other people's interpretations, we can sit around and give our interpretations and just be like, what was that movie?
Yeah.
And it's more fun, it's more exciting to not have that answer and just, again, sit here
Let's
again.
chew it up.
And just be like, what was the one-eyed seagull all about? What was the mermaid
That was his
all
soul.
about?
The one-eyed seagull was him. That was his own soul.
Yeah.
Defoe tells him,
Or no, I don't know.
well, I think it must be. Defoe tells him, don't fuck with the seagulls. They're the souls of sailors. And then at the end of the movie, Pattinson's laying there with one eye pecked out.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I've also
fucking
got-
love talking about it.
There's also the idea of just like at the beginning of the movie when he sees the vision of the logs in the ocean and he just walks in, that's what he dies there. And the rest of the movie is some sort of hell of punishment for what he did to that man. And
Yeah.
in
Yeah, the
North.
thing that I was thinking of is like obviously the last scene in the film is him lying naked on the beach getting eaten by seagulls. But at what point of the monologue, the story you've just watched, did that happen? And at what point does he just carry on the rest in his head? Or is it just all happening like that? It's one of those, you could talk about it absolutely forever. It's got
Yeah.
so many bits.
It's kind of like
So many layers.
that movie You're Never Really Here with Joaquin Phoenix, where it's just like he walks into a lake or a river, and some people have the interpretation that he dies there in that river, and everything that happens after it is just his mind kind of flickering
Yeah.
out before he dies.
I mean, that's really heavy, though, because you could use the example of Total Recall starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
sure, you could go for that light-hearted fucking action romp.
But
All right,
we're
so
married.
divorce.
Consider that a divorce.
We both went to the same place.
Best line. One of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best one-liners in any movie. Consider that a divorce.
And then the last movie, another movie that is full of. Oh yeah, that old quote. The last movie we're going to talk about, another one with heavy themes
weeks.
and much interpretation, is Parasite.
2 weeks.
Did win Best Picture and Best Foreign Language Film. Also won Best Director and Best Screenplay. Best Original Screenplay.
It also won my heart.
I can't wait for Audio Boy to talk about this film. Yeah,
Why don't you take us away, Audio Boy?
go for it, Audio Boy.
No.
Oh, okay, well, that was a good one. Yeah, Parasite is a film we weren't going to talk about it, but because when we did our Oscars reactions, not everyone had seen it at that point. Not everyone's had the chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I had seen it, and I was like, this is the best film to come from the Oscars, and now it's your chances to be like, fuck it, why did this film deserve Best Picture, and why is it so great?
I thought it was fucking garbage.
I didn't understand it. They were speaking funny accents the whole movie.
Yeah, I know.
Stop doing this to me.
Nah, it's a phenomenal piece of film.
It was so good.
It really is. That it's funny that and The Lighthouse, although they are wildly different in content, are two films that I really want to rewatch
Well, you
and then
you said
maybe
you
rewatch
laughed lots
again.
at The Lighthouse. I laughed so much.
I
at
laughed
Parasite.
a lot of the Parasite.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
funny thing was with both those movies, if you watch the trailers, you never walk into them being like, "Well, I'm going to have a good old giggle
Yep,
sesh
these are
during
gonna be
these."
funny.
But both movies, there are genuine moments of just belly laughter.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Parasite and I was like, people were like, "Don't watch the trailers, don't read anything about it." And
That
I
was
went in
me.
completely blind.
I said that.
Yeah, lots of people said it. Went in so blind, and it was
number one on the list
worth
was
it.
Gary.
You said it first.
Yes.
Because you are number one.
Gavin said it last.
But it was the best way to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm
it
the
was-
same. I went in. I hadn't even seen a trailer. I'd seen that it was Oscar nominated. I thought I want to. We'll go see this. It's meant to be really good. Well, it's Oscar nominated, so it's probably going to be a decent film. And I like the director's previous
Bong
works.
Joon-ho, who did
Bong Joon-ho.
Snowpiercer and Okja and stuff like that, and Host.
So it's I like all that stuff. I like all that stuff. I like all those movies. So I thought, you know what, let's go for it. Was not disappointed.
Yeah.
Start to finish, that film.
And even now, if someone was like, "What's it about?" You're like, "Sit down, my friend."
So much.
Class, inequality,
Poverty.
sociological. It's like,
It's a capitalistic
I
dictatorship.
mean, when it comes to Bong Joon-ho,
It's everything Joker wanted to be.
yes, there
It
you
is
go.
actually.
When it comes to Bong Joon-ho's films, there's no hiding from the themes he's approaching with Okja.
Yeah.
Like Gary, as someone who's a vegan, have you seen Okja?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a movie where it's clear as day what
Phenomenal.
that movie is talking about and trying to push as a narrative.
Yeah.
You come to Snowpiercer, it's kind of Parasite-esque. It's about poverty and social class and things like that. The Host is just a fucking class, fucking horror monster movie. Like, you can't get away from it. But Parasite, I think I was saying this to Audio Boy after we'd seen the movie, is it's very clear what Bong Joon-ho is trying to say in that movie, but he does it in such a kind of subverted
Yep.
way. at
so many
times.
little subtle,
So many subtle
mentions.
ways of doing it. He doesn't. Like, a perfect example that I was thinking of is the scene after they have to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And they're running away from the house. The rain's coming down. They go back to theirs. And they're just running down the stairs. And as they run down the stairs, they're getting lower and lower until they get back to theirs. And there's sewage water. Their entire apartment is ruined. One of them has to
exploding.
Toilets
That's
exploding.
an amazing scene when she just like sits on the exploding toilet and just smokes her snouts.
And it's
so good.
it's clear what's being said there, but like a lesser filmmaker would have had the character go, "Look where we are now, Dad. We're
Yeah.
back down here,"
Yeah,
and they would have
yeah.
said it to you. Bong Joon-ho never says anything about it. Instead, the characters discuss more of their nefarious plots.
Yeah.
And the film just, it's as Alfred Hitchcock always said, show don't tell, and the film's a perfect
fucking
example of
money-
show don't tell.
That fucking Money Rock as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, what a movie. I want to
Also,
rewatch it.
just the scene of the kid eating the birthday cake and the guy coming up the stairs.
Oh my
with
god,
those
that
eyes.
was fucking terrifying.
Haunting.
I was
Haunting.
It was terrible. I honestly I couldn't stop laughing at that because it's just he sees him and it's the whites of his eyes. I
Yeah.
just buckled. I thought, what a film! I'm gonna rewatch it.
It's been so long since a movie.
You've been with a woman.
No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to give you an answer to that question.
You kind of have answered it though, haven't you?
It's been so long since a movie has gotten award show recognition and kind of talked about where it's actually deserved it.
And
Parasite-
relevant as well, like
And is
like it's not
relevant.
like, oh, we've given this Oscar to this World War II film, and I'm like, yeah, but there's lots of shit that's going on.
Yeah,
I understand World War II was completely an awful thing, but there's lots of shit that's going on right now, and it is
Statement
really
of-
relevant.
Understatement of the century, right there.
Yeah, it's so relevant, and it's keeping people in the loop as well.
Yeah.
And also being a foreign language based film, there's no non-Korean actors in the whole film, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, it's great.
It's also just
It
wonderful.
looks fucking amazing
It
as
looks
well.
gorgeous, and it's just wonderful to see a film that is foreign get celebrated
Yeah.
and win achievements for the quality of the film itself, and not because
Not as a scapegoat for we need a foreign film in
like
this list.
like when Parasite won those awards, it didn't feel like them just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Because.
It felt like it because when you look at every other film in that category, there are some definitely great films in that category, but Parasite was like head and heels over all of them.
Have you
So
seen the
much
image
better.
gallery of every time he separates the poor and the rich with a physical line on the screen? and there's some of them are really, really simple and clever. When the guy that owns the house is talking to the serving staff, the shot is from inside looking out, but the window is a square, like a corner window. So the line separating the two of them is just the seam of the window where it joins. And I clicked through it, and some of them you won't pick up on it when you're watching the movie because it's just done so incredibly subtly well. It's mad. Yeah, I'll try and find it. I'll send you the link.
But then speaking of the father of the wealthy house, that's another great thing that happens in that movie is Bong Joon-ho could have clearly and easily just been like,
He's an asshole.
Let's just make these antagonists for no reason and they're mean and awful. Like, no, they're just
They're good
genuine
people, just trying to get on.
decent people.
They just have money.
They're just lucky enough that he's in a good job.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get by. And then you've got this family. They're in awful poverty, but do awful things, but for the sake of the fact that they're trapped in awful poverty. So it's kind of like at points you're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about them. But at other points you're just like, but I understand why they have to do this.
Yeah, like I've always thought that it's probably going in and watching that, and one of the highest forms of ignorance is thinking that the family are the only parasites in the entire thing.
Exactly.
Like it changes so many ways tonally, and
I mean, yeah, if you look at the lady who, the original kind of helper of the house and her husband, you can either look at them and just be like, they're parasites.
but also the rich
they're-
family are parasites as well. They're taking off care from other people that are coming out.
Exactly.
It's all a huge big circle of
And
how it happens.
it's so brilliant that the film it doesn't kind of push a narrative in that sense. It kind of shows you the full, like you say, circle of it all that people can kind of take in and make their own judgment of.
And then absolutely so open for interpretation for people as well, so that you can just make what you want of it.
It's not quite as open for interpretation as The Lighthouse.
No,
That-
but
yeah.
very few
The
films
Lighthouse-
are ever going to do
The
that.
Lighthouse will never be closed for
Yeah.
interpretation.
But no, it's a great movie. But yeah, I think that's wrap there.
I mean,
Sounds
what
good.
ratings would you give Lighthouse and
I think I gave them both the same.
A
for me.
motherfucking pint stein.
I think I gave them
2 pints then.
8 out of 10 on both. I think on a second rewatch on each of them that might change. It's so hard, especially The Lighthouse. I think actually I gave Parasite 9 and I think I gave Lighthouse 8.
I'm only going to say this because this is the kind of thing you like to say. Technically, it would just be a first rewatch, because if you're rewatch, you can't rewatch.
you can't rewatch something.
Yeah.
I would just give them two big, wonderful, lovely recommendations.
I'm 2 full pints, not even a sip out your pint. I enjoyed them
Full
both
pints,
so much.
20
Perfectly
I think
poured pint of tennis.
yeah,
The
I think
longer I
Lighthouse
sit with
need
them
to
as
give another
well,
watch, but
The bigger
I'd be
those
looking
pints are
forward to
getting.
it.
I think.
Holy shit! Actually, you know what came out last year? Did you see The Invisible Man?
Not yet, no.
No, I've not seen
Go
it
see
also.
The Invisible Man.
I'm planning on.
I'm going to say nothing else other than we'll maybe talk about it in the next round.
People keep talking about it. It's a surprise, kind of like.
I was very thoroughly enjoyed that. That's
I've
what I'll say.
had 2 reviews, and they're both very opposite reviews.
Yeah, that's interesting though. No, I really liked it. I was happily surprised. I thought it was going to be a total fucking
Dud.
just horror. Oh, where is he? Oh. But no, it was good. It was good.
I feel like one thing we should start doing in these episodes is you just give noise reviews, because those are like, you're like, I don't know.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. Meandering Movie Podcast, MMP baby.
Hit us up.
Hashtag what's going on with Gavin's eyebrows?
Fuck you so much. Hit us up on the social medias. Leave us some comments on what you thought of those movies if you'd seen them or if you plan to see them. Give us some topic suggestions, other things you can do that. Meandering Movie Podcast at gmail.com. Facebook and Instagram, just search for Meandering Movie Podcast. Give us a follow over there. And Twitter is at Meandering Pod. Yeah, give us whatever you got, people.
Ryan, you got anything to plug?
Gavin's red face.
Gav, you got anything to plug?
I'm going to use this plug to fucking smash the both of your faces.
I would like to plug Color Palette Cinema on Instagram. I really love that Instagram page.
There you go.
There you go.
Go look 'em
I'll
up.
add that.
I'm pretty sure they've got like 56,000 followers.
Okay,
or
maybe I
something.
won't do that. Maybe they should give us a shout out.
Yeah, it's called colorpalette.cinema. Whoa, no, wait. I really underestimated. They have 1.1 million followers.
Okay, I'm definitely.
But it's a fucking excellent. Oh, wait, that's shit.
What's happening in your
Right.
head?
The one they posted today was Holy Motors. That's why I'd known. That's why
there we go.
Crazy.
Yeah, you should check that out.
Finishing the episode
I'm Avant Gav.
with this.
It's a good name.
Music is life. Bye. Music is life.
It's Meandering Movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes of course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.